Doopy doop. Okay, we are recording.
Yep.
Hello, everybody. Today we're talking about sounds. We need to hear them before they hear us. Uh, so there's a lot of things in a game that ought to make sounds. In a lot of games, we use sounds just to kind of add impact to a movement. So something like when you fire the gun, you'd like to be able to hear the gunshot. When your guy is walking, sometimes it's nice to be able to hear that he's walking. When you interact with something, it's nice to hear like a click. It just kind of adds some impact to the action. However, sounds do a lot more than that. Sounds also add atmosphere to the game. So right now, previously, with our game,
Atmosphere, fear, just it can
just
add a
fear,
lot.
yeah. So just like
Yeah,
previously,
just fear.
we had just a silent game, but now we're going to add sound. So the next thing, you'll see a lot of new things in this project file that's going to be associated with this video. Other subsequent videos are going to talk about those things. Right now, we're only going to talk about sound. So the nodes you need, the Audio Stream Player 2D, and so that looks like this right here. When you look at the scene tree and you can see this, and so we're going to go over how to add that real quick and how to configure it. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing you want to do when you're adding sound to the game is go into the node that you're wanting to add it to. So I'm going to go into the pistol node here, and I'd like to have a click sound that gets played when you don't have ammunition. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So select the root node, your pistol, and you can hit Control A, and we're going to type audio stream. So as you see, there's a couple of options here. There's the audio stream player, that will just play a sound. There's the audio stream player 2D, that one is spatially aware, meaning it knows where your player is, and that's always the main camera, right? And then it will attenuate the sound, meaning make it louder or quieter in the left and right ears depending upon where the player is relational to the sound node. So this is really useful. Like imagine if you had
That sounds
headphones
really
on.
useful for a horror game.
Yeah, so imagine you've got headphones on and you're walking around a building and you can hear the zombies out your left ear. So
Or
you
you
know
can
there's
hear a
zombies to
screech
your left.
echo throughout the hallway.
Yeah, exactly. So we're not going into the advanced stuff like the echoing in the hallways in this video, but that's actually a thing you can do. So anyways, double click Audio Stream Player 2D. Boop, it adds it to your node. Now that you've done that, let's give it a name that makes sense. I'm going to call it click. Now I don't actually have a sound for this, which is unfortunate.
Oop, there's a cat.
So I'm just going to take any sound I can. Now here's the thing to notice about the audio stream is that it can only work with OGG files, OGG, and you can convert just about anything into an OGG file using Audacity. So let's go over that real quick. So it says here you can convert to OGG from most audio software. I'm going to show you how to do it on Audacity. There are other ways of doing it.
I've never
So
really heard of any of these.
step 1, open Audacity. Step 2 is going to be open a file. So I'm just going to open up this this one right here. Okay, so I've got this file and I'm going to select this part. That was a gunshot, not a click, but we're going to take it and I'm going to make a new one.
Pew.
Paste it in. Now that's all I've got. And I'm going to go File, Export. And now here's where I get to pick what kind it is. And I need to pick OGG Vorbis. Okay, and as you can see, I've got several here, and I could select gunshot.ogg and hit save. I'm going to call this gunshot 2 because I already have a gunshot that I like pretty well. Gunshot 2. Say save, and it's just going to be like this. You just say OK. So now, when I come back in here, you'll see gunshot 2 is here. So what I can do, now that I've done that, I've got the audio node that I added. I've got the new OGG file that I just created. And I'm just going to drag that over into Stream. And now, if I click play, notice how it's looping. It's looping just over and over again, right? So we're going to talk about that real quick. Okay, so we've added the audio stream to our scene. We selected the node and dragged the OGG file from our file system into the stream property right here. We've adjusted the volume by dragging the volume dB to the left or right. Let me show you how that works. So there's this volume dB. This is if it's going to make the sound louder or quieter. Some sounds, like if it's an ambient background sound, you may want to turn it down so that it doesn't overwhelm all the audio from the scene. Autoplay will make it start playing as soon as the game begins, whereas playing lets you hear what it sounds like in the editor. I prefer to just have things on autoplay if it's a background sound, but I do not like having it playing if it's like a pistol sound. You're going to want to be able to control that with code, and I'll show you how to do that here in just a second. Next thing you'll notice is this max distance. So this is a pixel space distance, and what's cool is that this is how far away you can hear it. And so if you make this like 100, then you won't be able to hear it beyond 100 pixels range from it. So if you think about quiet zombie moans or maybe zombie shuffles, you might want to keep the max distance low so you don't hear them from all the way across the world. You only hear the ones that are near you. And the next thing is the attenuation. So the attenuation tells you at what level does the sound drop off. You may want to change this if you want the sound to drop off very quickly. You can hear it just as loud as always, and then right at the edge of it, it shuts off. So for things like that are playing inside of buildings, and you want to make it so you can't hear it outside of the building, but you can hear it inside of the building, then you can adjust this attenuation to do that. All right. Now let's talk about how to make it. Not loop, so that it only plays once. So what you're going to do is you're going to select that gunshot and the OGG in your file system. You'll go up to import, and you'll notice how it says loop, and that's checked right now. So let's uncheck that, and we're going to re-import it. And so now, notice it only played once. So that's perfect. That's exactly what I needed. And we are good to go on that. So do that for sound effects, but you can leave looping on for background music or maybe sound effects like running water, things like that. Okay, now to the code. How to make this thing play when we want it to. So you notice I've named this node is called gunshot, and I'm in my pistols code, and when I want to make it play, I just say gunshot.play. And that's seriously all there is to it. So let's have a look at what that looks like in the code here. So I'm going to go into the script, and you can see here, right here, I've got gunshot.play. That's all it takes. And let's have a look at what that plays like. So this version here has got some additional things, like for instance, I've got a baseball bat that I can pick up, and I've got a pistol, and I can switch between them. And I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to take out a zombie with my pistol. So that's how that works. You can hear.
Did you run out ammo?
I didn't. I had 3 rounds left. This pistol has 6 rounds. All right. So that's all it takes. You just call the play function, and your audio nodes play it. If you have background music, just set it to autoplay. Add the node to your root node, your main scene, your level, or whatever, and it's that easy. All right. Some challenges for this one. Add a footstep sound when the player is moving. So make it so that while the player is moving, there's going to be a sound on the player. It's probably going to want to loop, and you just tell it to play when the player is moving and tell it to stop when the player is not moving. Okay, record your own zombie sounds in Audacity, and maybe make the zombie use your sounds randomly. So check out the moaner timer on the zombie, and I'll explain what I mean there. So we go to the enemy here, and we look at the scene. There's a timer here called moaner, and there's this moan audio. So you go into the moaner, and when that one times out, it plays the moan sound, and then it sets the wait from 15 to 35 seconds using this rand range function. So you can go ahead and look that one up if you want, and that'll make it play randomly. One of the things you'll notice that I've got set on the moan sound is that you can only hear it from 200 pixels away, and that keeps you from hearing all the zombies all across the whole world. All right, so that's it for the challenges. In the next one, we're going to talk about lighting. So I think that one's going to be pretty cool because it changes the ambience. I'll give you a little preview here of what that does. So right now you notice everything's bright and cheery, and I'm holding a flashlight, but that doesn't make a lot of sense. So if I darken the scene and then play, now we're playing some creepy background sounds. We've got it so that we can only see the things that are lit up by our flashlight, which is pretty cool. The shading is really neat looking. And now the entire environmental ambiance of this game has changed. And watch this. Why did the zombies not come to my pistol sound? Am I so far away? So let's see. Oh,
I think you broke it.
I must have. Alright guys, well that's it for this video. I'm going to go ahead and fix that, and we'll talk about how I made the zombies come for your sound when you fire the pistol, and we'll talk about lighting. So I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you've got any questions, and I'll talk to you later.